terminal list, Dark Wolf, has already been a roller coaster ride across episodes 1 to 5. Betrayals, hidden agendas, and shadow wars are everywhere. But the question on everyone's mind is this: who's behind the biggest betrayal so far, and what does it mean for what comes next? Warning: spoilers ahead. From the very start, we've been pulled into a dangerous game of trust and deception. The Shepherd, this mysterious figure supplying intelligence, has been at the heart of every major operation. Haverford leans heavily on this intel, but Hastings has been quick to remind us that Shepherd's information might not be as clean as it looks. When intelligence becomes the foundation of your mission, bad information isn't just a mistake, it's a betrayal. And that's exactly the cloud hanging over every operation so far. Why Eliza's betrayal wasn't betrayal at all. This theory explains why Eliza's betrayal wasn't betrayal at all. Yes, she shot Edwards. Yes, she stole the bearings. But she claimed she was ordered to uncover whether Haverford himself was compromised. Maybe she was still loyal to her cause, and her so-called betrayal was just part of her cover. If that's the case, then her death isn't just tragic, it's suspicious. Was she silenced because she got too close to the truth? And here's a darker possibility. Maybe there's another mole, someone still alive on the team, someone like Landry or Tal, hiding in plain sight. It would explain why things keep falling apart, why the bearings were swapped, and why Edwards keeps finding himself one step behind. Then came the bearings mission. The goal was simple: swap authentic nuclear bearings for fakes and cripple the enemy's centrifuge program. The team pulled it off, or so they thought. But soon after, chaos erupted. The authentic bearings vanished. Someone had switched them. And if you're keeping track, this wasn't just a failure. This was sabotage. Somebody on the inside, or someone pulling strings from the outside, wanted this mission to fall apart. And then came Eliza Parash. If there was any character who really made viewers sit forward, it was her. First, she bonds with Edwards, building trust both personally and professionally. Then in episode 4, the unthinkable happens. She shoots him in the back, steals the bearings, and leaves him hanging. That moment hit hard, because it wasn't just about the mission. It was emotional. Betrayal from an enemy hurts. Betrayal from someone you trusted cuts deeper. But the story didn't stop there. In episode 5, Eliza explains herself. She insists Mossad didn't orchestrate the attack. Her real mission? To investigate Haverford, to uncover whether he's being manipulated by Shepherd. Was her betrayal really betrayal, or was it loyalty to her own orders? Unfortunately, we don't get time to dig deeper, because Eliza is killed in a bombing, leaving Edwards holding her bracelet and more questions than answers. So, which betrayal is the biggest so far? On one level, it's easy to say Eliza's, shooting Edwards, stealing the bearings, and then dying before the full truth could come out. That hits like a punch to the gut. But if we're talking about scale, the biggest betrayal may not be hers at all. It may be Shepherd, because if Shepherd's intel is fake, if Haverford is compromised, then every mission the team has risked their lives on could have been built on a lie. That's not just betrayal of one man. That's betrayal of the entire team, their sacrifices, and possibly their country. Is Haverford being manipulated? This theory hints Haverford is compromised. He trusts Shepherd too much. He relies on intel that constantly places the team in messy situations. Is he being manipulated? Or is he using Shepherd as cover to run his own agenda? Haverford leans heavily on intel from the Shepherd, treating it as reliable even when others, especially Rife Hastings, warn him it may not be trustworthy. His decisions keep pushing the team into increasingly dangerous, murky situations. This pattern raises a red flag. Is Haverford making these calls because he truly believes in Shepherd's intel, or because Shepherd has shaped his decision-making from the start? Eliza Parash's final revelation adds weight to this. She claimed her Mossad mission wasn't to betray Edwards or sabotage the team, but to investigate Haverford himself. Why? Because Mossad suspected he was being influenced, maybe even controlled, by Shepherd. Her death, before she could prove this, makes the theory even more suspicious. Shepherd might plays a double agent. This last theory explains why Shepherd isn't what they seem. Instead of a loyal source, Shepherd could be a double agent, feeding just enough truth to earn trust while slipping in lies that reshape the battlefield. If that's true, then Shepherd isn't just betraying Edwards and his team. They're playing nations against each other in a much bigger game. The Shepherd is presented as a clandestine intelligence source in Tehran, someone with deep access to information on Iranian operations. Through Jed Haverford, this figure has been feeding the team critical intel that drives most of their missions. But here's the catch. The Shepherd isn't someone we've ever seen directly. They're a name, a code name, a shadow. That makes them both powerful and suspicious. Anytime a faceless source dictates mission after mission, you have to ask, are they guiding you to the truth or steering you into a trap? The mission to swap authentic nuclear bearings for fakes should have been straightforward, but somehow the real bearings disappeared and fakes were inserted. If Shepard's intel set that mission in motion, it's possible they designed it to fail from the start, making the team pawns in someone else's operation. What to expect in Episode 6? So what does this mean for Episode 6? This is where things get intense. According to the preview, Ben Edwards rejoins the team, but the answers he finds will defy belief. He's going to have to embrace the gray areas of morality, something Rafe Hastings refuses to do. This widening rift between the lieutenant and chief sets up serious conflict inside the team itself. Imagine fighting enemies on the outside while questioning loyalty within. The Shepherd's laptop, stolen in Munich, is bound to play a big role. Inside that data might be the key to unraveling everything. Was the Shepherd real? A ghost? Or just a mask someone else was wearing? Episode 6 may finally start pulling back that curtain. But here's the biggest hook. We still don't know who swapped the bearings. Someone put fakes where the real ones should have been. And in a story filled with double crosses, this one switch might be the key to exposing the ultimate traitor. Expect the team to head towards Stein am Rhein, but don't expect it to be safe. If the pattern holds, that destination is likely a trap. Betrayal has been the language of this show, and Episode 6 will almost certainly deliver another gut punch. So here's the question to carry with you until the next episode drops. Is the biggest betrayal really behind us, or is the deadliest one still waiting in the shadows? Because in the Terminal List Dark Wolf, trust isn't just fragile. It's a weapon, and the closer Edwards gets to the truth, the more dangerous the betrayals will become. One of the most intriguing parts of a prequel series was diving into Ben's past and gaining a better perspective on why he would betray James Reese like he did in the Terminal List. It's pretty shocking to hear Ben claim to Eliza that loyalty is his top concern, considering what's to come, but it makes sense for his Navy SEAL background. There are still a lot of questions about Ben that haven't been answered all that much in the Terminal List prequel. The series pivoted and leaned into the globe-trotting espionage thriller subgenre, which, for the most part, has made for a very entertaining product. That said, with only 2 episodes left in Season 1, there hasn't been much depth added to Ben's character outside of his dishonorable discharge in Dark Wolf Episode 1. If one thing is clear after Episode 5, it's that both Rafe and Ben are not only willing, but somewhat enjoy playing outside the rules and expectations of being a true soldier. This allows them flexibility, but they both lack the sense of honor that drove James Reese in the original series. On that note, I'm hoping Chris Pratt will return before the end of Dark Wolf Season 1, but it's looking like he was mostly there in Episode 1 to pass the baton. Ultimately, what the Terminal List Dark Wolf Episode 5 lacked in narrative cohesion, it made up for with thrilling action and unsettling violence. It still hasn't really blown me away from a story perspective, but the technical skill that went into the series remains one of its strongest aspects. It would be great to get more insight on Ben before the season finale, all while keeping a close eye on Haverford.